everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today I am back with another book tag, the 20 questions book tag. No, I was not tagged by anyone for this, but tag videos are A, kind of fun for me, and B, they're what you get when I'm quite tired and it's close to the end of the month and I don't have any good video ideas. I first saw this on a couple of different channels, mainly A Book Olive, but also Thornfield Books, so I will link both of their videos down below, along with the questions if you would also like to do this tag, because I am famously terrible at tagging people. You'll hear more about that at the end of the video. So the first question asks, how many books is too many books in a book series? Honestly, I'm not sure. I have read some pretty long series in my time. Mainly the Bloody Jack series and the Poldark series come to mind. Poldark having 12 books and Bloody Jack having 13 books in total. And honestly, I loved that experience. I could have had both of those stories go on forever. I loved the characters, they felt like family, and I could have read about their adventures until the end of time. I do, however, think they reached a natural ending point as well, so I'm not too unhappy that they've ended. At the same time, however, there are so many books that I want to read. Do I really want to be tying myself to a 20 or 30 book series? All of that to say, I don't know that there's a particular number of books at which point a series becomes too much. I think it depends on the plotline and the natural arc of the series, whether or not it makes sense to have more books or whether or not this story is reaching a natural conclusion and it would get rather tedious to drag it out even further. Number 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I don't typically enjoy cliffhangers, mainly because I don't read that many series anymore, so a cliffhanger is really frustrating to me. That and an ambiguous ending. I really don't like those. However, if I know there are more books to come in a series, I'm a little bit more forgiving of a cliffhanger. But it's still not an entirely pleasant feeling. Number 3, hardcover or paperback? I do tend to prefer paperbacks, but I will never say no to a hardcover. I don't have any aesthetic preferences either way. I think both can be beautiful books, but honestly, paperbacks are lighter and they're easier to carry around and they don't hurt when you balance them on your body. Maybe that's just a grudge. I still have a dent right about here in my skull, and I swear that is because my mother balanced a hardback version of Dreadnought on me in utero, and I swear that's the mark of the open spine. So maybe I have a slight grudge. Number 4, what is your favorite book? The hardest question to answer. And I'm going to cheat a little bit and say that my favorite book is the works of Jane Austen and the works of William Shakespeare. Number 5, what is your least favorite book? Again, a really tough question. I'm hard-pressed to think of a book that I outright hated. I feel like this is a cliched answer, but I really did not enjoy The Catcher in the Rye. It's really hard for me to find anything redeeming about it. And I suppose the same goes for Gone with the Wind. I could not connect to any of the characters, even the first time around. I didn't know what Scarlett was searching for, but I hated how many people she hurt in the process. And yeah, I just got frustrated with both of those characters very quickly. Number 6, love triangles. Yes or no? Again, it depends. I don't yearn for a book with a love triangle in it, but if there is a love triangle, I think it has to be done well. And I'm not really sure what well means to me to be able to really explain it to you, but it can't feel really cliched and tedious. Number 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. Well, at the moment, I would say that that is The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. I made it through the prologue, but The Knight's Tale is so long, and I have so many other books that I really want to read, and it's just not calling to me, and I can't make myself pick it up to continue. So yeah, that's my current struggle. I haven't completely DNF'd it, but it's a struggle to motivate myself to continue with it. Number 8, a book you're currently reading, neither of which I have with me because they are downstairs because I am currently reading them. Those are The Canterbury Tales, like I just mentioned, and also Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. Number 9, the last book you recommended to someone. I was actually just talking to my former roommate, Katie, the other day, and I recommended a bunch of books to her. What was the last one I recommended? Oh, The Secret Adversary by Agatha Christie. Because she is starting to get into Agatha Christie. She has Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express on her TBR. So I recommended that after she checks out those 2 Poirot mysteries, check out the Tommy and Tuppence mysteries. Number 10, what is the oldest book you've read? Casting my mind back through everything I read at school, I would have to say any of the books of mythology that I've read, probably. I've read some Norse mythology, some Celtic mythology. I really need to brush up on that more recently. Also Greek myths. Let's face it, the Romans stole their myths from the Greeks. So yeah, I think those would have to be the oldest. If we're looking for a specific publication, probably Beowulf, which I read as summer reading for sophomore year English in high school. Yeah, Mrs. Clark had really high expectations of us. And then number 11, what is the newest book that you've read? Excuse me while I check my spreadsheets here. That would have to be Galatea by Madeline Miller, which I read just the other day. I feel like it was Thursday or Friday. And I really enjoyed it. And I am counting it as the newest release. Yes, it was published in 2013 as an ebook. However, I have the new hardcover edition that was just published on March 3rd of this year. So I think that's the newest publication I've read so far. Number 12, your favorite author. Again, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Jane Austen, and of course, William Shakespeare. You might have guessed that from an earlier question. Number 13, buying or borrowing books. They are both so wonderful. I cannot pick just one. I am, of course, the daughter of a librarian. I worked in libraries. Libraries are fantastic resources, and if you can patronize them and give them your time and indeed your tax money, please, please do it. It is so worthwhile. At the same time, however, recent events have turned me into a major germaphobe, and I also love owning my own copies. Plus, I don't have to contend with due dates that way. So there are advantages to both. Number 14, a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. Again, all of my ideas have deserted me. I suppose, again, The Catcher in the Rye, anything by, who wrote The Things They Carried? Everyone seems to love that. I couldn't stand it. Heart of Darkness. I had to read that for 2 consecutive English classes, and I hated it both times. I don't even know that there's that much literary merit to it. I really don't. So there you are, that's my rant. Number 15, bookmarks or dog ears. Definitely bookmarks. I used to be far more okay about dog-earing pages when I was a young child, but now I have so many bookmarks, and I really only use a couple, which is really sad. But I am also planning on filming a bookmark tour at some point if you all would be interested in seeing my huge collection. Number 16, a book you can always reread. Everyone together now, Austen and Shakespeare. But additionally, I think any classic that has remained a classic is always worth a reread because it has proven that it stands up to multiple readings. Number 17, can you read while listening to music? Yes, I can read while listening to music. I can read on crowded trains, in really loud classrooms and cafeterias. I can read while watching television. I can read almost anywhere. I'm getting less good at reading in the car these days, which is very sad. But that has nothing to do with ambient sound. That has to do with my inner ear, I believe. Number 18, one point of view or multiple points of view? And here again, I think it depends on the story. Is the story suited to being told from multiple perspectives? And does that add something to the story? When it does, I really enjoy that. However, if it's not really suited to that, I think one POV is also really interesting. And I think it's up to the author to decide which would be best for what they want to tell. Number 19, do you finish a book in one sitting or do you spread it out over multiple days? Honestly, it depends how much time I have and how long the book is, but given enough uninterrupted time, I can finish your standard size book in a day. And number 20, who do you tag? I hate choosing individual people to tag. It always feels like choosing teams in school, which also felt really unfair to me. So I will leave it completely open. If you would also like to do this tag, please do so. I have left all the information for you down below, the original video, the questions, everything you need. If you do decide to do it, please link your video in the comments down below so I can check it out. Until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone.